Hey, this is my first TikTok video on my personal page. As far as I am aware, you can look, there's nothing else. So I threw some washable powder paint on I opened a bag which contained washable powder paint, and I opened that on myself, and some of that got in the case of the Constitution too. I did that with my friend and now co-defendant and Crozier. And we did that almost 2 years ago now. And as a result, a plurality of voters in the U.S. voted for Trump, and nobody has done anything on that scale with that risk level for climate here in the United States. And everyone's focused on other things instead. Cool. Of course, it's not a direct causation. My doing that didn't cause Trump to get elected and everyone to give up on climate. There are a number of factors at play. These are just things that happened and I'm stating them out loud. Anyway, so I say that because what can we do now? Do you want to do this type of action, these big sacrifice type of actions? Seems like you don't. So what can you do without completely giving up? Well, if you look at what people do with the ICE coming into their neighborhoods, right? They're going in and they're blocking them. They're saying you can't arrest people, and they're risking their safety for it. It's a lower risk because they've got it's a hot button issue. People are paying attention. It's in their community. There's some support there, right? So what I'm saying is to try that for climate, local stuff. What the ICE protests, the ICE blockades, the ICE don't take these people and send them away. Those are a lot of things in the community because ICE has come into wherever those people live and they started taking people, and it's spooky and people don't like it, and they started doing that for like people who just aren't, who look a certain way, even though they're citizens. Bad stuff. So I heard a story not too long ago about somebody who, like, 8 people came in with leaf blowers. Leaf blowers are like more climate intensive, or like pollution intensive, or about as pollution intensive as a truck, right? So people came in with leaf blowers and they're blowing in the neighborhood, and this person just comes up to them and just tells them to stop. He's yelling at them. He's saying, don't, you gotta stop. And he sits on their equipment, and they call the police, and then they get the manager of the city or something involved. I probably didn't say that title right. It's not the mayor, but it's somebody, some city employee, manager level. And he says, you gotta stop doing this. You need to clean up the leaves, sure, but it doesn't have to be this way. So, and then he said, I'm not gonna move if you gotta arrest me, arrest me. But I'll say it was, this guy who got me arrested and blah, blah, blah. And they backed down. If he had gotten arrested, it would have been a local news story. People wouldn't have heard about it, and then interest, right? But they didn't want a big mess, so they backed down, and he won. So what I'm saying is, you need to do this sort of thing. If you see people with also, for the people who are protesting the ICE agents, right? What do you think? What are your thoughts on the people who are the ICE agents themselves? Are they misguided? Are they just trying to get a paycheck? Are they just regular people? Or are they complicit? Are they evildoers themselves too, consciously? Whatever you think about them, I would suggest you carry that over to people who are doing bad things on the climate. And of course, the people doing bad things on the climate, the heaviest The worst actors are people you might not see around you, like fossil fuel CEOs. However, most of us are complicit, especially in highly industrialized countries, especially in the United States here. So if you see someone idling their car, don't just walk by. I've done that plenty of times, and I haven't yet started doing this. I'm just suggesting it. But I do know someone who did see people blowing leaves with gas-powered leaf blowers, the worst kind of things you can do to take care of leaves. And he went up and stopped them. And he was willing to risk some jail for it. His jail risk was much lower than throwing paint on the Constitution or some monument like the Washington Monument or the Lincoln Memorial or any shit like that. He didn't take a shit on Pelosi's desk like the J6 guy did. So he's gonna take risking some low level like jail time there, and then the community would hear about it, and then they have to make a decision on where they stand, right? Which is the kind of predicament we want to put people in. We want them to have to viscerally make a decision on this issue rather than just keep putting it off as they currently have been doing for a while now. So, anyway, a lot of balls I'm juggling in the air here. When it comes to considering the ICE agents, consider the people idling their cars, running leaf blowers, taking flights, etc. Just driving a car that doesn't have any electric battery or anything in it, not even hybrid, right? I'd say, stand up to them. I need you to see them the way you see ICE agents, because they are also throwing our future away. And you can argue the ICE agents are just trying to get a paycheck, right? Or they're misguided or they're deluded. You can make that same argument for the people who are flying, who are driving completely non-electric vehicles, or running gas-powered leaf blowers. All bad things on the scale of these ICE crackdowns and on the scale of the climate emergency requires henchmen. Whether you're a conscious henchman or not, you're still a henchman. So you might want to treat these henchmen with love, as Dr. King and Gandhi and folks like those did, or you might want to treat them differently. However you treat them, keep in mind that they are a necessary, a required part of bad actors achieving their goals. Yes, you might get mad at politicians, you might get mad at rich people, but they are the people that are being used by rich people and by politicians. So anyway, all that flavor in there now. I just wanted to say, do those local actions, do those local things that we can easily do without risking much, where we've got local stakes, because this is our neighborhood, and they're using leaf blowers around us, they're using too many cars around us, they're giving us dirty energy. Those points, do some things that will block them or stop them, and make people in your community, in your neighborhood, have to stand on one side or the other. And as we do this more and more people will see what's going on with climate, and it will start getting back up there in terms of talking about it and considering it, because it wasn't getting talked about before or considered before Extinction Rebellion went and did their action in April of 2019. We can't wait for better times, we have to make them. And my big action at the Constitution didn't seem to do enough. But these small things, I think, are low risk enough, relatively more scalable, and I think that's where we need to go. Alright, this is a long TikTok. I didn't know they went this long. Sorry about that. Hope you're okay, folks. If you're not, let people know. Cheers.